Hey guys, this is Nick with PhoneArena, and if you have been following the newsfeed lately, then you surely know that Android L is one of the hottest topics right now. It is a huge Android update after all. It brings a fresh new design and a ton of extra features. The Windows Phone 8.1 update has also been enjoying quite some attention. It adds cool features like the Action Center and Cortana. It adds more personalization options and it improves the web browsing experience. How does it compare to Android L, however? What makes one better than the other? Well, let's take a look. Android L and Windows Phone look quite different, even though they're made to do the same thing basically. In Android L, we have a home screen with app shortcuts, folders and widgets. All installed applications are placed in a separate menu, the app drawer. Windows Phone relies on a home screen populated with the so-called live tiles, and its list of available applications is accessible with a swipe to the side. Picking a favorite depends on your personal preferences, but in general, Android is for those who are into customizing their phone, while Windows Phone feels simpler and easier to organize. Widgets are Android's solution to making the most of the available screen space. They come in all shapes and sizes and serve a vast array of functions. Some tell the time, display weather conditions or list our emails. Others let us control music playback and so on. The alternative of Windows Phone are the live tiles. Basically, they are a blend between an app shortcut and a widget, but aren't as functional as widgets in Android. On the upside, a Windows Phone home screen looks very presentable and well laid out, with almost no space left unused. Android L and Windows Phone have a similar approach to notifications. Both list them in a panel that is accessible with a swipe down from the top of the screen. Android, however, takes matters a few steps further. First of all, it pushes the non-important notifications down to the bottom of the list. Also, some notifications expand and give us extra options. For example, we may archive or reply to an email straight from the notification panel. The lock screen in Android L makes it hard to miss a notification because they are listed right in the middle of the screen. Unlike Windows Phone, Android L presents us with handy shortcuts to the phone and camera applications. The lock screen in Windows Phone 8.1 is simpler and cleaner. It is more elegant but a bit less functional. Here at the bottom we have counters for our missed calls, for the new texts and for the unread instant messages. To access the camera application from the lock screen, you may use the shortcut placed in the notification panel. Speaking of the Windows Phone 8.1 Notification Center, also called the Action Center, it has toggle buttons for turning features like Wi-Fi and Bluetooth on or off, and for controlling the screen brightness. Only 4 buttons may be displayed at a time, but if you want to, you may remove these and add new ones from the settings menu. Still, we like the quick controls in Android L better. In addition to Wi-Fi and Bluetooth toggle buttons, the quick controls present us with a brightness slider, location and airplane mode toggles, as well as with a button for locking the screen orientation, all in the same menu. Now, as we mentioned already, Android is a lot more flexible when it comes to personalization. Android L is no exception. You can pick between static and live wallpapers, you can move widgets and shortcuts around, or you may apply a third-party theme or icon pack with the help of some software. In Windows Phone 8.1, the user may pick between a handful of theme colors and apply one of these against a white or a black background. You may kind of set a home screen wallpaper too. You pick a background and it shows behind some tiles which are made transparent. This creates a unique and quite nice window effect. Also, you may modify the arrangement and size of the live tiles. In Android L, the phone application is unified with the contacts list, so all our calling needs are handled by a single app. Launching it displays our call log, our last contacted number, our favorites, and a neatly organized list of contacts with a profile picture at the side. The search bar lists results from our contacts, but can also search in Google's database for nearby businesses, which is kind of neat. In contrast, Windows Phone 8.1 keeps the phone and contacts application separate. The phone application is pretty simple, with our call log, favorites, and contacts listed alphabetically. The People app is separate because it's more than just a manager for our contacts. It also serves as a hub, listing the activity of our friends on social networks and lets us interact with these posts. It is a different approach and definitely not a bad one. Hangouts is the default SMS application in Android L. It handles both plain old text messages and instant messages sent through Google's service, as well as audio and video calls over the internet. With the risk of repeating ourselves, Windows Phone is keeping things simple with its no-hassle texting application. It is made for texting and that's pretty much it. The virtual keyboard in Android L now has a simpler layout and has retained its great accuracy. It speeds up our typing with its word predictions, and fans of alternative input methods may use the keyboard's swipe mode. The keyboard in Windows Phone has always been a very accurate one, and it is about to get even better in Windows Phone 8.1. The platform's latest version adds wordflow, which works pretty much like the swipe method in Android. However, it isn't available on our demo unit, so we cannot give it a test at this time. Chrome in Android is a web browser that has established itself as one of the best of its kind. It is not only fast, but also highly functional and pretty easy to use. It can synchronize with other devices on which the same user is running Chrome. Basically, this means that you may have access to all your opened tabs and bookmarks on other devices. And if you need to save up some megabytes, the browser comes with the option to have pages compressed before they are downloaded. But Internet Explorer 11 in Windows Phone 8.1 is a browser that shouldn't be underestimated. The latest version of Microsoft's browser features unlimited tabs, optional data compression, and a reader mode which hides all the pictures and leaves only the body of the articles for easy reading. The last one is a handy feature and definitely one that Chrome may learn from Internet Explorer. The stock camera application in Windows Phone 8.1 is basic and easy to use. At the side of the screen we have buttons for taking a photo, a video, or a burst of images. There are some settings that you may adjust manually from the Options menu. However, if you are an owner of a Nokia Lumia phone, you will find the Nokia camera application pre-installed. It is a welcome upgrade over the stock camera application, adding quick access to proper manual controls: focus, exposure, ISO, shutter speed, and color temperature. Google Camera, which is the default camera application in Android L, offers little in terms of manual controls, but it is easy to get the hang of and features a handful of cool modes, including panorama, photosphere, HDR+, and lens blur. Once in the Android photo gallery, you are presented with a thumbnail view of all your photos. If there is anything that you have stored in Google's cloud, it will be listed for you as well. Photos can be shared straight from the gallery application or edited using the rich selection of image processing tools. The gallery in Windows Phone 8.1 is somewhat similar to Android's. Images are grouped by date and uploaded to OneDrive, where they are safe from being lost. The only thing that we wish this application had more of are image editing tools beyond cropping, rotating, and an automatic fix. Windows Phone is catching up and now isn't the underdog platform that it once was. It has grown better, bolder, and functional enough to give its rivals something to worry about. At the same time, it is still that minimalist and simple to use mobile OS that adds welcome variety to a market that is dominated by Android and iOS. But we cannot really call Windows Phone 8.1 better than Android L. We would rather call it different. It may not be as customizable, but it has its own unique modern design. It may not be as functional as Android, but what it does it well. Ultimately, we don't see why an experienced Android user would prefer Windows Phone 8.1 over Android L. However, those who aren't too picky about which operating system runs on their smartphone should be happy with either platform. Thank you for watching our comparison between Android L and Windows Phone 8.1. For more details, just visit our website phonearena.com.